What's going on, everyone? So, Final Destination Bloodlines is slated to come out on May 16th, and I'm excited. Really looking forward to this. This is a movie that has just been essentially in purgatory for like 12 years, right? Like, there's so many times that this movie got greenlit and then didn't happen, and then they changed the story and the script like 15 times, and then, the movie was like the original idea was like the first responder route, and then people like protested against it and like were throwing fits on the internet about it, like if they were killing real first responders and completely ignore, like the same thing happened with Halloween Kills, right, which I thought was hilarious. Like, you genuinely had people like, oh, like, does it have to be firefighters? Like, it's not real firefighters. They're not actually killing real firefighters. It's a movie, right? Like, it's not real. But nonetheless, people on the internet are gonna people on the internet. But this upcoming Final Destination is expected to tie in to some of the past other films. Also, give us some insight and reveal a few things to kind of that have been kind of always questioned and open ended, right? And I wanted to kind of talk about couple things that I really would like to see. Now, first off, I do want to say that I am kind of on the fence about it, right? Like, I'm there's a part of me that would love to solve some of the mystery. There's a part of me that doesn't want to solve any of the mystery. Um, but there is a part of me that just wants to like not solve any of it, right? Like, and what I mean by that is like death, right? For a long time, people had rumored and speculated, like Tony Todd, rest in peace. And a lot of people were like, oh, okay, is he death? Is he death? Right? And for a long time, there was this kind of thought process of like, okay, they're probably going to reveal him to be death at some point. But is that something that they should do? Right? Is that the direction that they should go? Should they reveal him as death, or should they be more kind of cautious in that regard? Right? Like, should they kind of keep it open ended? The visions, right? Like, that's kind of like the big one is like the visions. Like, do we want to know what happens or where the visions come from? Is it just like the touch and mark of death? That is the cause and reasons for the visions. Is it a bloodline thing, right? So have like everybody that's had visions been related to each other, or maybe like there was like a group in the past that cheated death and they're just the bloodline descendants and that's why they're doing that? Because that's what this is supposed to be, right? The plot synopsis is supposed to be centered around a character named Stephanie that discovered that she's comes from like a bloodline, that her grandmother had cheated death and survived death, and now it's coming back to haunt her, right? And so if that's the route you're gonna go, then fine, right? Like, I'll just read the quick synopsis. So the plot of Final Destination 6, also referred to as Final Destination Bloodlines, centered around a young woman named Stephanie who experiences premonitions of a tragic accident from her grandmother's past. So, again, having visions, not necessarily about her or her friends, but apparently about her grandmother's past. So, they're visions that are reoccurring, it seems like. So, it's not in the sense of like Alex and the others and their visions, where it was just kind of like they just randomly had them out of left field. No, supposedly Stephanie is like having these visions regularly, revealing that death is still hunting their family line. Even decades later, as she and her loved ones become targets of increasingly deadly, seemingly random accidents. Essentially, the film explores the concept of bloodline, where the consequence of cheating death can extend to future generations. And then you have like family legacy. The main character, Stephanie, discovers her grandmother narrowly escaped a deadly disaster years ago, but death is now targeting her family as a result. This is still supposed to kind of be more focused on like first responders. So kind of seems and feels like there's going to be like a tragedy. There's going to be an accident. Death is finally going to take the grandmother, and the Stephanie and others are supposed to die, but they don't. And a group of firemen or something like that come and save the day. And now it's like this whole wrench is thrown in, and now they're all targeted, right? But I'm all for that, but I do kind of like, I don't want the whole mystery, right? Like, but I do want I like the idea of them not being able to cheat death. Like, in the end, death gets them. I kind of don't want that to change. I kind of want that to stay the same. But also, I don't want to know, like, any... Like, I wouldn't mind where, like, explaining where the visions come from. Right? Like, that's kind of like the one thing where I'm like, okay, like, I think you could explain that and it wouldn't, like, ruin or take away from anything. Right? But I genuinely, I like the mystery. Like I said, there's 3 parts of me that wants everything explained, wants nothing explained, and just wants certain things explained. And I think we'll probably be in the middle. I don't think that they'll explain everything, like, oh, where death came from. Like, I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. But I would like, a little information on just kind of like, hey, this is some details. Here's, the visions and the premonitions. Here's how this follows. Like, why are these group of people chosen? Right? Obviously, it's been, because they survived death, they escaped death, but they escaped death through the visions. So is that God? Is that an entity? Is that a spirit? Or is it something where, no, it's a bloodline descendant thing? Right? So, like, Alex was the bloodline descendant. Like, are all of them related? Are all of them connected? Right? Or is it something where there was an original group, right, that escaped death? They're the first people to cheat death or whatever. And it was, 1,000 years ago. And, it dates back to biblical times or whatever. However they want to tie it in, however they want to make it make sense and justify it, fine, so be it. But, I'd like to at least know kind of the backstory and where the visions come from and stuff like that. But I don't want them to, like, oh, death is always watching type thing, and it's like one of the characters that are there. And like, I want them to keep it pretty straightforward, right? Keep it within line, right? Keep the mystery, keep up the facade. Just have really good storytelling, really good acting, really good characters. Have some epic, memorable kills. Because, I mean, this is a franchise that we all are very tied to and memorable of, right? Like, we all question, when we're about to get on a roller coaster, or like what is about to happen and stuff, right? Like, we all, like, if we see a truck with a bunch of lumber in the back, we're all kind of like, ooh, is this is this really about to happen here, right? Like, there's just so much that goes into that we're just kind of like, that connects us through these movies, right? And so I really want them to do right by these films. I don't want them to over-explain, and because you see it all the time. Like, you'll have franchises that start trying to over-explain and start getting too much into stuff, and it's just like, come on, right? Like, just keep it simple, right? Keep it what it is. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass the question to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Are you excited to see how this kind of plays out? Do you want them to explain the visions? Do you want them to explain nothing? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it either way, so please let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot, so we enjoy these types of videos. Truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.